the first thing you're going to need to do for this is go into video capture. So if you go onto your program, you'll find this program. Now if I play the video, you can see that I've got a shot going like that. Alright, so got my shot. Now what I want to do for this video thing is I only want to have the bits of the video that I actually want to see. So if I drag these things here, I can get to the point where Gavin is just releasing the ball, and then I can get to the point on the other end where the ball is just about to hit the ring. Got the idea? Alright, so if I go there, now what you'll find is, I'm just going to do that edit. Now there are 70 pictures that I'll see there. Alright, so if I come down to here, if I only want to have say 14 points or 24 points will be probably enough. And if I go confirm edit there, it will actually now do the time frame, so I only have to do 24 clicks of the button when I do the next bit. Alright, so that tells me how many images I'm going to see when I do the next bit there. So I've done that, and I need to now save that as something. And this is into Year 11 Maths, new folder, and I'll call this our trial. Alright, now it's all in QuickTime. Alright, so we're saving it as a MOV file. That's what QuickTime actually uses. Alright, so save. Alright, now I'll get out of there and I'll go into the next part of that program, which is the Videopoint. Alright, so if I go into the Physics Fundamental, Videopoint Fundamentals is the program we want to use. Alright, so it will load up like this. And the first thing I'm going to need to do when I go into here is actually open my file. So you need to save it somewhere, obviously, that's appropriate to you, and then come in and find the file that you just saved. So if I go into my, where is it? And I have the new folder, and should be a MOV file, so you have to maybe change the conditions there, so it's a QuickTime MOV file, and you can find the one I just did, which is called trial. Alright, so that will open up in here and play. So you've just got that bit there which we're looking at. Alright, so the next thing, this program's really intuitive. So I've done the preview, click on the arrow to the next bit. Now what this does, it sets the height of something. So if I came down to here, let's say I said that was a metre. So that's the idea of using your metre ruler. You can fix that on the metre ruler, and then you can say it's 1 metre. Got the idea? So you'll fix it on your metre ruler, you've got leaning against the wall. You go, okay. The next thing, you can change where your coordinates are, your axes. I'm just going to keep it where it is because it doesn't really matter what we're doing. But you might want to put it at the bottom of your ruler. Right, so it's in line with your ruler. So that's okay for you to do it. Then go to the next bit. Now this is the bit that's a bit of fun. Right, so you might find it's really hard to see your basketball, the top of it. So if you go to there, you can see the top of the basketball. Right, and what we're going to do is we're now going to click at the top of the basketball. Okay, while I've done that, the basketball's moved. Right, so then we go to the next bit over here. The basketball's now up there, and I want to click at the same point on the basketball. So I'll keep clicking until I've done all my bits. Now what this will do, it will actually put this into the program, and it will tell me what the X and Y coordinates are for the different time period. Alright, so I obviously did a pretty dodgy job of videotaping this, so I missed the top of the ball. Alright, but you get the idea. This is just an example for you. Then we go back to the top of the ball. Alright, and when we've done our last click, alright, when we've done all of our video, alright, it will then say, okay, we're ready to the next bit. Alright, so obviously I didn't quite cut at the right point. Alright, so keep going until I've clicked all my points. That's why you have to edit it, otherwise you get this bouncing off the ring bit. Alright, so it's now said, do you want to analyse another point? At this stage I'll say, No, I'm okay with what I've got there. Now, if I just click on that, it'll put a graph in there showing me what's actually happening to the height of the ball. It's got my Y position over here, which is in fact the height, and it's got my time period. So it shows me what my ball's doing at that particular time. Now, the great thing about that is, that's my graph that I really want. I've got all my information in a table over here, right, which is really good. So I can go to the next bit, which allows me to try and model that. Now, I'm suggesting that we're not going to model that in there, but what we'll do is we'll export that to Excel. And we'll call that, say, timer. I'll call it trial, because that's what I've called this one as. And this will put your data into Excel and open up an Excel file. And so therefore you can actually work with that data once it actually opens up as a normal Excel file. Right, so all that data that you've collected, rather than having to try and measure and all that, we just clicked on our program. Hopefully this thing will load up soon. I'll just open up Excel, see if it's there. Might have to try that again. Alright, so just try that again. So if I go into there, I want to export that data to Excel, and I want to call that trial. Oh, it's already there, sorry. So if I go into my particular file, you will find that particular data is in there. Right, so math A is in here, wasn't it? So this is my trial one. Say yes, and there's all my data. I've got my X position, I've got my Y position. So I don't really need my X position. Now, one thing I do, if I've got raw data there, I just copy that, and then I add a new sheet, and I can paste that in there, and then I can delete that column, because I don't really care about the that data. I'm really only caring about the time and in fact the Y position, aren't I? Right, so I can simply highlight those cells. Now remember we talked about before we had 24 frames. Right, so then we go to insert a graph, a scatter plot, and that will actually show us our data that we've got, and we can use that data. Alright, so what were we interested in trying to do? We were interested in seeing the bounces, aren't we? So our graph's going to go up and down for the time period, isn't it? So that's going to give us a graph that's sort of going up and down when we do that. Alright, I'll just stop recording.